You can only be you, baby.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
Welcome to another episode of the You Can Only Be You podcast, investing in mindset, health, and wealth. I am the host, Ucoby.
And I am the host, Keisha.
Today's topic, we are talking about paying yourself first.
Well, how do you do that?
The question, there's many different ways to pay yourself first, but let's first talk about the mindset, at least from my perspective in paying yourself first. Of course, this all comes down to perspective. I believe paying yourself first involves thinking about the future, thinking ahead. How am I investing my time currently to move correctly and how I want to move in the future? It's kind of like a chessboard or chess pieces. You have to think 2 to 3 moves ahead, and paying yourself first, taking this time to invest my time wisely for the future. My future self should thank my current self, if that makes sense. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. To a certain degree. Like you say, it's a mind game. When you think about paying yourself first and a mindset, and you say thinking about the future, it can be really tricky because, like you said, you change as a person and your needs change as you go through time in life. So what you're planning for now may not be relevant to what you might need later. And you think about when you say paying yourself first and working, and you have to think about what that might do to your mentality for the future. So I think when you think about paying yourself first in your mentality, I'm always going to say pay yourself first with your time and your commitments in your life. Do something that you love, your passion, if you have the option to do that. And if you don't, make the option for yourself. Because that's paying yourself first, because that is going to nurture and protect and help develop your mentality and keep you sane, keep you mentally thriving if you are.
And keep the stress levels.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm going to pay myself first, I'm going to be doing stuff I love to do. I want to be learning the things that I want to learn. I want to be working towards the things I want to work towards.
And you want to have the opportunity to keep learning, because that's how you stay young. By learning and picking up new skills. I get what you're saying. Do you believe in being a specialist? Because I tend to think, I treat things like progression, and if I find something I like it, I stick with it. But at the same time, while I'm sharpening this skill, I'm still progressing in other areas, if that makes sense. I believe in learning and moving on, growing. Like, you should reinvent yourself like every 10 years. That's how you stay young and you keep growing. But you also are paying your future self, because if you ever get in a position where you have no job, let's say that if you have no job, you have skills. You didn't develop this. I did this. Now I'm efficient. If that makes sense.
I do believe investing in a skill, but it's going to be kind of comical because I believe investing in the skill of being me. Investing in the skill of being me, which is multidimensional, which means that I get to master something and then move on. You know what I'm saying? So that keeps, that's multidimensional.
And like you said,
I don't want to be like anybody else.
Like you said, your current needs may not match the future needs. So if you are being multidimensional, that means that mindset is changing too and growing.
It's adaptable. It makes you flexible.
It makes you flexible and still be yourself. And that's very true, because a lot of people, you don't have to stick to one thing. You can still be yourself and multidimensional after you master something, of course.
But you have to decide. See, you say you can be yourself, but you have to decide what that's going to be.
Yeah.
And you have to decide, are you going to be the self who you really are, or are you going to be the self that you've been conditioned or trained or raised
to be? Or programmed to be.
Yeah,
because we all take on our parents' demons, our environment demons. Different type of stigmas that just come with who we are or who we're around.
So investing in yourself can also be relevant to when you say be yourself. Who is that self? Commit to yourself. That's another thing. Investing in oneself also means committing to oneself.
Paying yourself.
Well, paying to yourself can be subjective, because paying yourself doesn't have to be monetary.
No,
it can be
that's commitment.
So committing to yourself. So if I decide I'm going to be a teacher, that's who I am. I want to commit to that. I'm going to be a nice person, a generous person. I'm going to be someone that's giving of my knowledge. I got to commit to that no matter how hard it is, no matter how I feel, I got to commit to that. So that's what I'm saying. Find what self do you want to commit to? Find that self, invest in that self, and have faith in that self.
And that's the mindset. That's the mindset aspect. Now, the health aspect, paying yourself first. I firmly believe, like I said, my future self will thank me. You work with older people. I see older people, more mature people, I'm sorry. I see more mature people all the time, and the hardest thing for them is standing up and getting down. And they always say, I wish I would have moved more. I wish I was active more. I wish I would have started earlier. And I believe that's paying yourself. Being active, being moving. And I'm not just talking about, you don't have to be in the gym. You can walk trails, run, you know, that's still being
exertion,
active.
Rigorous, something you find you can do rigorously for an amount of time. See, that's tricky too. I definitely think you should be active, and I think you should work out, exercise, or find things that stimulate you cardiovascularly and stimulate you physically.
But that's
right.
fun.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I will use the term and generalize it and say, be active and find things that stimulate you cardiovascularly and muscularly, that challenge your muscular system. Now, this is the thing. You say, my current self will thank my future self. My future self will thank my current self. Well, that can not necessarily be true, because what if you beat yourself up? What if you're not smart? So the thing is,
it depends on the person,
so much information out there.
Yeah.
My advice, because we are so tied to knowledge and technology, and we have access to a multitude of information. Everybody's posting and streaming. Take the time to investigate and find out what you're doing to your body. Find out what you're doing to your body now that is going to affect you later on. That's an investment. Knowledge of your body, knowledge of how you are performing, what's going on, what's in there.
That's when you get into paying yourself, and a lot of people are doing different diets. As we know, not everybody is the same. So I believe if you're gonna pay yourself in that aspect, know what you're taking in your body, not just food, you know, creams, facial moisturizer, anything, lotions,
mascara.
The
hair product.
The skin is the largest organ on the body.
Lip products.
Largest organ, so take care of that. But with that aspect and learning diets, know what works best for you, and just get out there and try. I mean, I've done the vegan, I've done the paleo, and now I know what works for me.
Yes.
I know I can't do milk at all. Like, it's no. That's paying myself in the same sense.
Because you're learning.
Yeah.
Take the time to learn about you, aware of who you are, aware of what operates this mechanism that you've been blessed with.
It takes time.
And be smart. Because like you said, I work with mature people on a daily basis, and all I can say is, while you're out here now, yes, make sure your future self can thank your current self. Make sure, take care of your current self in ways that'll benefit you when you are, if you're lucky to live to be 80, 60, 70, 90. I mean, you're not going to stop wanting to be fly.
Yeah.
That don't go away. Once a fox, always a fox.
And not even just being active, also the recovery for those who are competitive, whether it be bodybuilding, basketball, football, CrossFit, track. These things beat your body up, and like to be the best, you gotta actually perform and put the time in. But you also gotta take that time to recover, because you don't want to, like you say, that you perform and crush your body when you were younger, and now you see power lifters, they can't even lift their arms over their head, you know, like they can't even do this, touch your back, you know, things like that. That goes into recovering, taking care of your body. Yoga is like the most underestimated thing, and breathing. Stretching
in general. Stretching and breathing.
It's
stretching and breathing are very underrated.
It's the simplest thing. We've had conversations. How you helped me get to where I am, and now stretching is like a must. Breathing now. Release the stress. We go through so much stress, and just being aware of those things and paying yourself and taking that time to focus on the health aspect.
Yes.
Definitely.
I mean, just care about what you are doing, pay yourself, and make sure that you can last.
Yeah, it's all
Make
about,
sure you can last.
It's all about getting more time, and that's what you want to.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that you should be focused on the time, because that's just relative.
When I say time, I take that back. You're absolutely right. When I say time, meaning the time of freedom to spend it how you want, not be changed, not be obligated.
Because focus on time will pull you down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Focus on being the best version of yourself. When you say
freedom, being that freedom to be you.
Be uniquely you. Focus on being the best version that you can be of yourself. Invest in that. Dedicate yourself to that. Whatever that is, make that shine. Make
it happen.
Yeah, make that investment pay off.
Now, that goes into the wealth aspect with paying yourself first. As of late, we've done a lot of financial literacy as of late, and it comes down to having our future selves thank our current self once again. Having the mindset of working now, putting up, whether it be savings or opening stock accounts, brokerage accounts, to put up for the future. A lot of people don't know or don't have the mindset, okay, I save money, but how is your money working for you, if that makes sense?
Knowledge comes with mindset. So I would say, just not to underestimate anybody, I think a lot of people don't have the knowledge to be able to adopt the mindset. I would say to people,
they just don't know.
Talk to your kids about money. Teach your kids about money. Educate them about literally how it works, what's its origin, what's it used for, how do you use it, because it's a tool. Money is a tool. And teach your children about it. Educate. Because you basic knowledge about money, when people know about money, they know they make it, they know they spend it. That you make it, you save it, you spend it.
Right.
When people's version of investing is so subjective. So when you talk about investing, I mean, that's all across the board.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people have savings, but they don't know what to do with it. They're just keeping it, but it's staying. It's like a pot of soil. It's staying dormant. You're just adding more soil.
It's never too late. Educate yourself. It's never too late. It doesn't matter. If you got 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 60 years, so what? You can accumulate. Something, you can progress. It doesn't matter. It's never too late. But I just believe some people just don't have the knowledge. Because like I said, your mindset changes with knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people's mindset are going to change with knowledge when it comes to finance.
Speaking of myself, I used to think money in the Nike box was the best way to save money. Having stash money, having bond money, and just cold hard cash. Now it's more so, okay, how is my money making money? A lot of people don't know where to start, and I would say if you do have a steady job, to start at your 401k, because that's where people that's the easiest route to get going and to get some type of literacy. Your 401k is money that you are putting up for retirement with a particular job. It's a fund, and your job will match that fund up to a certain percentage. A lot of jobs only do 3%. So I always tell at least my peers, if put in 7%. That way you get 3%. They're giving you 10% of your check every year.
Yeah.
Now what happened is you got to be at your job a certain time to get that whole entire match, which means they're vested, which is typically 5 years. But let's say 5 years you put 10% of your money total. You talking, let's say 5,000. Let's just say you make 50,000. You talking about 5,000. That's 25,000 invested over a 5-year period. And if it's played right with the right return, it might be 36,000 in 5 years. Now your money made money. And if that's your job's policy where you get the whole money, you can walk away from your job and have that and just roll it over.
Yes.
It's a way to start.
Take those things in consideration. And if you don't, you can always get your bank on board, and you can get your
banks have certified deposits called CDs. It's a small way to have your money accumulate interest. I typically think unless you have money to invest in something like that, the return is like 2% max, but it's a way to start.
Still keep cash though.
And still keep
cash.
Cash is
Gold.
King. Cash is
also,
king.
I'm gonna say this.
But just save as much as possible now, so you can live in the future. We live in a consumer era where everyone consume, and I'm learning if you use something on a regular basis, then invest in it. Invest in it. If that's investing in yourself. So if you have a favorite brand, a favorite whatever, invest in that. You wearing it, using it, buying it, spending your money, so you might as well let it come back on return. Might as well.
And you might as well profit off of it as much as you can. I'm gonna say this too: invest in your culture, invest in your people, invest in your community, invest in your towns. That's investing in yourself. Invest in your neighborhood. Don't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon of looking for things that you need outside of your resources that are around you. You know what I mean? Don't go looking online sometimes. Just invest in your community. Invest in your people. Also, when you invest in your family, invest in your kids.
Paying yourself.
That's investing in yourself.
That's still a part of investment because it's gonna pay you dividends. It's teaching somebody a skill.
Yes.
For them to come back and now you taught them how to lay bricks. Now they didn't build a community.
Exactly. And I'm gonna say this.
Paying yourself. That's
don't be afraid when you invest in yourself and you learn and you grow and you think. Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to pass on gems, knowledge, resources.
And I think a lot of people,
because that's investing in the legacy of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's ripple effect.
Yeah, you know, when you invest in yourself, invest in the legacy of you, of who you are. Invest in the legacy of yourself. Don't be scared to spread your wings. If you don't be scared to spread them wings and wrap them around people. You don't have to have money to have big wings. You know, it comes in many forms. So wealth is monetary to some people, and some people, hey, what Bob Marley say? Riches, I don't know them riches. My richness is I can't even think of what he said.
The people?
Yeah, well, he said, what did he say?
My richness is love?
My richness is life.
Yeah.
Yeah, my richness is life.
See, we fucked all that up. That quote.
Well, hey, you know. Yeah, he said, I don't know those riches. My richness is life. So
but when you talk about ripple effects, for instance, I taught my brother how to produce and make music, and now that I no longer make music, I can sit back and look at bro and be like, man, he's actually making a lifestyle and living the lifestyle off of his music. That's my legacy. If I don't do anything else, his music is gonna touch people that I didn't even know I could touch, and that's a ripple effect. I think a lot of people don't really realize their impact. I've heard before, to everybody, we're nobody, and to everybody, there's somebody, if that makes sense. So just understand the impact of you. Paying yourself first is also investing into others, because it will come back tenfold. Love, you put that energy out, it comes right back reciprocated. You are what you put in the world, and you get it back. That's all I got for today.
I say pay yourself first and allowing yourself to grow. Find things that give you joy, that allow you to become whatever it is that lets you spread those wings.
Absolutely. That's all we got.
And remember,
much love.
You can only be you, baby. Hey, and do it well.
Blessings.
You can only be you, baby.